The mining industry has come under the spotlight in recent times with a sharp focus on employment opportunities and illegal mining. The country has seen a drastic increase in illegal mining all across, especially in coal mines. Maggie Moila works in the male-dominated mining sector and focuses particularly on heavy machinery training. She founded Fundza Training Institute to create awareness around job opportunities in the mining sector and offers training in first aid, height training, crane operator, as well as entrepreneurship. She joins us now to tell us about her journey and the opportunities in the industry. Maggie, thank you so much for coming through and joining us this morning.
Thank you so much, Katlego.
It's a pleasure to have you. Tell me, how did the mining bug bite you as a young black South African woman?
Sure. I think because it's so weird because I was in the financial industry. So when I left my job and I started my own business into training, I started off by training financial literacy. And that's where I saw a gap into the lifting machines, heavy machinery operating. And I was like, let me go for this. It's mostly male dominated, and why not? Yeah.
So what skills should young people take advantage of in order for them to get into the mining space?
I think we need to understand that the mining sector is very broad. There's also supporting departments like your HR department, procurement, sales, communications, besides being engineers. However, we're seeing a lot of young people tapping into the skills programs that are sort of like your welding, your artisans, as well as your safety measure, because safety in the mining industry is high key. So yeah, there's different kind of opportunities, but it's not necessarily you'll be mining and digging gold. There's a broad spectrum of it, yeah.
I mean, it's year-end. A lot of our matrics have written their year-end matric exemptions. We're waiting for results that should be coming out in January. Yeah. Many of them looking to get into big universities, and some of them won't be able to find space in those universities. Yeah. What opportunities are there for them in terms of taking up vocational work as well as studying towards something such as mining? Yeah,
I think we also need to, as parents, being a parent myself, is that we need to unlearn that going to university is the only option, and if you don't, you won't make it in life. Right. There are a lot of technical colleges, there's training centers like Fundza that have skills programs and that can make you employable. So there are opportunities instead of going to university and getting a doctor's degree or becoming a lawyer. You can actually be a plumber or be an artisan or even be an engineer. So there are options besides going into university, yeah.
And together with debunking the university myth, there's also debunking the myth of the fancy office jobs. How do you encourage these young people to take up high-paying jobs within the mining sector?
You'll be surprised that the person who wears PPE or a hard hat and safety boots earns more than a person who has a top floor office in a suit at the corner. Yeah, so it's not necessarily about that. Like I also mentioned, as parents, we need to give our children opportunities to say that you don't have to go to university, and there are endless opportunities in the mining sector as well. So you can earn much more than what a judge makes in the mining industry, yeah.
I mean, we were speaking earlier on offline that the mining industry is quite a sensitive industry, but most especially to women. Are we finding that more and more women are being attracted to getting into the mining industry?
Well, the stats say 12 to 17% women are in the mining industry. It's better than what it used to be, because even people who are inquiring from our institution, it's mostly women, and they want to drive your heavy machines. So it's a good thing to see as well that even when it comes to businesses, they're empowering mostly women. So yeah, I think we're getting there. It's still a long shot, but the stats are also showing that there's a huge improvement. Yeah.
And how do they then deal with the stereotypes once they're in the industry with other men who wouldn't necessarily believe that a woman can operate that heavy machinery?
Women are becoming confident, and I think men are also starting to realize that a woman can actually drive a heavy machine and still go cook at night, so cook for their family. So we are slowly getting into it, and we're realizing that we not have to be office-based. And even our government is doing a phenomenal job, even the mining sector, to give women opportunities. So men are actually start partnering with women a lot, and preferring women. I read somewhere that actually women are better heavy machinery drivers than men.
Really?
Yeah, because we are more cautious and vigilant. So it's
it makes
good
sense.
to see.
It makes perfect sense. But we can't speak of mining without speaking of illegal mining.
Yeah.
We know that that's a very big problem in South Africa, especially. How does it impact, especially for young people wanting to get into the mining space, where we then have the issue of illegal mining?
Illegal mining, it's one conversation that's very sensitive. I think besides it affecting our economy, fatality is very high. And I believe that one of the reasons why people do illegal mining is because they don't have skills. They are not given opportunities. Unemployment is ripe. So they will find the easiest way to make money. And unfortunately, not sometimes, all the time, it's not a good way, because you end up dead, or you'll end up being arrested because it's illegal. So I believe that we need to upskill the communities in that mining area, because you find it's mostly people who are situated there that will do illegal mining. So let's upskill them, because they somehow have some skills, but they don't have the qualifications on it. So I believe as a mining company at that time, they need to focus more on community development.
So you believe it's a collaborative effort in curbing illegal mining between businesses, government, and the community?
Very true, yes.
Right. So is there any link then with a lot of people failing to find jobs because of illegal mining?
Yes, I believe so, because when you're hungry, you'll do anything. So if it means illegal and making some sort of money, you'll go that route. And it's just unfortunate. So let's try to get our people skilled and be employable.
Right.
So that's very important. You don't have to, like we mentioned earlier, to get a university degree. We get people who are in grade 10, standard 10, who can still get a qualification or some sort of skill that will then lead them to be successful or be an engineer one day. So we need to focus on education. Education is key.
And that's certainly what Fundza Institute is doing. Just take us through some of the programs that you offer, what's required for a person to be able to register and take up some of your courses.
We've got our website, which is fundzainstitute.co.za. That's where you'll get most information, but we work on your fall arrest techniques. We work on safety programs. We have your heavy machineries, your lifting machines, and it's quite a couple of things, but more focused on the mining industry or worksmen's abilities to work. And your plumbing, your welding. So anyone can apply from level 2, which we're talking about standard 10 or grade 10, and you can apply online, you can enroll with us, and we have social media handles where you can follow us on, which is Fundza Training Institute. We're on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook.
What did it take to get accreditation for such an institution?
Patience. It takes a lot of patience. Compliance is very important, and I always say that double check if that company or the training institute you want to study at is qualified, because most people lose money. You get your certificate and it's not even recognized. So make sure you do thorough research on that training institute. But when it comes to us as a training provider, you need to go through the CETAs, and it takes patience and making sure that you're compliant with your SARS, your typical company registration documents.
Speaking of that, we know that at the beginning of the year, a lot of students will be looking to become a part of some institutions. What should they do? Because you say they need to do their research and ensuring that the institutions are legit. Where should they go? What should they look out for in order to ensure that they're going to the right institutions?
You have to, firstly, obviously, even if you Google a company, people create fake websites. Get their accreditation number and then check with CETA if this company is valid. And do as much research, because we tend to not call the seaters, and they're readily available to give us such information. And as well, Google the business itself. There's a lot of information you can get on a company on the internet. So do as much research before applying.
Lastly, what's your vision for the mining industry, for the contribution that you are making as an institute in bringing in labor and skills? Where do you see the mining industry in the next 5 to 10 years in South Africa?
Sure, we are growing. The nice thing is I'm situated in a mining area, and I believe it's early this year we introduced the first hydrogen plant. So technology and going green, that's where we're going with the mining sector. And if you're a business person and you want to tap into that, think out of the box, and especially as a woman, see new developments that can happen, that can decrease when it comes to environmental issues. And yeah, I think we're going far, and there's so many opportunities for us ladies, for us women, and this is our time. Let's take advantage of it. But that doesn't mean that even if they give us such platforms, we don't inform ourselves or educate ourselves in that sector. So it's our opportunities. Let's go for it.
No, certainly. I mean, it's very important for self-development if you want to move into any space, and not it just being on the fact of your gender.
True. Very true.
Right, Maggie, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You're doing great work. We hope to see you flourishing in your endeavors, and for the institution to be able to bring us more skills in the mining sector.
Appreciate. Thank you.